52 million voters erased, and nearly a quarter of them were Muslims. That's the number that prompted 3 UN Special Rapporteurs covering minority rights, freedom of expression and freedom of religion to send a formal letter to the Indian government. Their question simply was, what exactly happened during the India's Special Intensive Revision, a massive electoral roll cleanup that wiped out roughly 52 million names across 12 states and union territories? In West Bengal alone, 9.1 million people vanished from the rolls. And these aren't just numbers, these are millions of real people who had the right to vote. So what actually triggered the UN's scrutiny? People with valid ID cards were struck off for the reasons the government calls indiscriminate. But the pattern tells a different story. In West Bengal's Nandigram constituency, Muslims make up just 25% of the electorate, yet they accounted for 95% of the deleted voters. Across all 12 states, the SIR erased over 10% of the electorate. Gujarat lost more than 13% of its voters in a single sweep. And in one striking case, a local election officer was deleted from the rolls himself just because he's a Muslim. So apparently, even running the election wasn't protection enough. India's government defended the exercise as routine housekeeping, clearing out dead, removing duplicates, and, as the Home Minister puts it, catching illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators under a detect, delete, and deport campaign. Opposition parties see it differently. A political weapon dressed up as bureaucracy, timed just before elections in states the BJP struggled to win, and designed in a way that hit the poor and the minorities hardest, the people least able to produce paperwork on short notice. But strip away the rhetoric, and there's a deeper problem still. Under international human rights law, voting is a courtesy governments extend. It's a protected right, and states cannot apply it in discriminatory ways. The UN says that's exactly what happened in the so-called world's largest democracy. Millions of eligible voters, disproportionately Muslim, silenced before they could cast a ballot. And India's Supreme Court? It declined to halt the process, even as 3.4 million appeals piled up, with barely any time left to be heard.